Hey everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and this is a video review of this knife. And this knife is a Yuna EQ1. This is a knife made by Yuna, who is a knife maker out of Southeast Asia. I think it's Thailand. This is a full custom knife. And when I mean full custom knife, I mean full custom knife. Every single thing on this knife is handmade by Yuna. The screws are handmade. The lock side is cut by him. There is nothing here that is made by anybody else. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this knife. Yuna's knives are fairly well regarded. They have their own quirky style, and I think that's one of the reasons why people don't absolutely love them. But the big thing is his wait list is crazy. About a year ago I asked what his wait list was, and he said 24 months. And then, when I was looking for this knife, I asked what his wait list was, and it was up to 3 years or something like that, 33 months. So his knives are extremely hard to get, in large part because because of the way he makes them, he doesn't make a lot, so they don't go on the market a lot. But this is his smallest knife, and this is one of his tamest knives. As you can see, there's some striations here, and it gives you a little bit more grip. But this knife has a blade length of just about 2 inches, and you can see his word mark there. It's a hand-rubbed finish. And I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but it does give it a little bit deeper luster. It's hard to explain. But the knife blade doesn't have that same sort of satiny grinder satin finish. Obviously the directions of the grind are this way because he's hand rubbing it with sandpaper or whatever he uses. The blade steel itself is ZDP 189, which is a really good blade steel. And one of the things that's interesting about Yuna's knives is his grinds are really steep. I mean, this is a high hollow grind, and it is just razor thin out here towards the end of the edge. The knife itself has G10 on this side, and then this is flamed titanium on this side. As you can see, there are 3 anodized dots here, bronze, blue, and then another bronze one. And if you look here, you can see, let's see if I can get you a good picture. There you go. This is actually 3D machined. It's really weird. He sculpted this clip and it looks like a flat clip, but he did a lot of texturing here. He thickened it up here so that he could put these dots in. The overall impression of this knife that I have is it's a very, very good everyday carry knife. The action on this knife is incredibly smooth. As you can see, it just fires out. Just give it a little tap with your fingernail and it's open. There is no lock stick on this. I did get it used. I got it used through the USN. I actually paid less than cost from Yuna, which is good. This knife normally goes for Yuna for $4.95, and then if you can find them, the cheapest I saw one until I got this one was about $700. So I found this one for less than $4.95, and obviously I just bought it. There's a lanyard hole here, and a lot of Yuna's knives have these really sort of dramatic finger indexing slots where it gets real thin. And this one, it's thin, but it's not like paper thin. It doesn't make it feel like the knife is unstable. You really do lock in, and while there is some jimping here, and the scales have the scalped appearance, as you can see, he sort of chamfers it once it's scalloped, so it doesn't create any hot spots. That's one of the problems that a lot of Yuna's knives have, is because they have very unusual, exaggerated handle shapes with points and pokes that sometimes they generate hot spots in your hand. And this knife doesn't do that. I've had this knife for about 2 weeks now, week and a half, and I haven't used it a whole lot. I've carried it pretty much every day, but I haven't used it a whole lot, and it's been fine in the uses that I've put it through. None of them are like terribly strenuous. The most strenuous thing I've done is just cutting down boxes because it's Christmas time. But it does have this really oversized thumb stud, and the thumb stud serves as a blade stop in that direction, and it also stops the blade in that direction, so it actually contacts the handle. One thing that I noticed, especially when I had like the Surefire Jekyll, is that this setup allows you to squeeze a really thick blade into a really thin handle, because the blade can come, instead of having like a stop pin here where the blade will stop like right here, you can get the blade to stop right beneath the end of the scale. And sometimes, like on the Curtis F3, it'll actually poke out, but here Yuna did a really good job, and there's no sharp edges. So you do get a lot of blade width in a relatively small handle by using this dual purpose stop pin configuration. The other thing that he did is he has this pivot, and yes, it is a proprietary pivot, which does piss me off, but not a whole lot you can do on a custom knife. But the pivot also acts as a blade stop, if you see there, or the over travel stop. It has an over travel stop, and it's quite nice. The detent on this knife is very, very good. It's perfect for flipping. You can just flick this thing open. I mean, it's addictive. You can also roll it open. You can do like the Sebenza style open. I really like the knife. The whole satin finish, really deep hollow grind makes it quite a slicer. Even though the knife steel is kind of thick, it's not monstrously thick, but it is really a very slicey cutting knife. It's a great knife to have. The blade shape is not anything unusual. Lots of Yune's blade shapes are very, very unusual, and I'm not a huge fan of them. But this one is really tame. So if you have a chance to pick up an EQ1 and you're looking for a very nice, small, everyday carry custom knife, I would highly recommend it. I think that, you know, a lot of his knives are sort of exaggerated comic book style knives, but this one is pretty tame for what you get. I wish it wasn't striated like this. I mean, it does add in grip, but on a knife this small with this large of a finger index and good jimping, you probably don't need it. If this was just, you know, smooth, that'd be fine with me. If it was desert iron, that'd be really cool. But like I said, I got this on a secondary market, so I couldn't pick the materials. His knives are really well made. I mean, there's just no flaw here. There's no problem with the blade centering. There's no problem with the lock bar. There's absolutely no blade play in any direction. I mean, it's just a lock solid. Very, very, very good. And the hand rubbed finish is incredible. You can see that. I mean, just it's really sweet. So this is a video overview of the Yuna EQ1, and a video review will be coming, or a written review will be coming soon. Thanks.